I got here about 4:06.
At dawn, the cars curl around the block in this Houston neighborhood for nearly 3/4 of a mile.
I've been here since 7:08 this morning.
Herman Henton would prefer to be stuck in traffic headed to a job.
Even in the neighborhoods where it's pretty, I'll say it's pretty decent on this side of town, we all need help.
Instead, the 41-year-old father, an out-of-work construction worker, is stuck in line waiting for food.
We tried to go and apply for food stamps, but they only qualify for us for $25 a month for 5 people.
He says paying the bills was never an issue until now.
We've depleted our savings.
Priscilla Toro is doing everything she can to get by.
I don't want to be in the street. I don't want to be without light. I don't want to be without food.
At the West Houston Area Ministry Food Bank, the lines have been this long since early spring. These are just some of the stories of food insecurity because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We've seen a lot of people that have come through our line that say, this is my first time here. There's 2 vehicles in the line, that trunk does not open. 2 vehicles.
Lisa IPARREA oversees this effort and estimates her mission will hand out groceries to about 1,000 people and pets on this particular Wednesday.
You know, people have lost their jobs and they feel that if they can at least provide their families with one thing, it's food.
Most of the food her group gives comes from the Houston Food Bank, the biggest in the country.
Almost immediately after the closures hit due to the pandemic, the lines went crazy long. We fairly quickly jumped up to about 1 million pounds per day of distribution. This compares to before it was about 450,000 pounds.
From March through the end of September, the food bank has helped more than 126,000 area households a week. Food banks across the U.S. doled out 1.3 billion pounds in the first quarter of 2020. That number jumped to 2 billion in the second quarter.
40% of American households have less than $400 in savings in order to weather a storm. So when this crisis hit, the number of families who needed assistance just was immediate and very large.
For all that the food bags give, there's one thing volunteers struggle to take away from the recipients.
The American dream is getting to be a further and further reach the more times go on.
A feeling of shame. But if the pandemic has proven anything,
It's terrible that we all have to do this, you know, but we gotta get by.
it's how precarious economic stability is for a growing share of Americans. John Moan, Associated Press, Houston.